So let's talk a little bit about abstraction with respect to object orientation. Abstraction, think as essential information or characteristics that we need to have from within that class or object. And we will enforce that anyone using that class that has abstractions need to implement those in order to use it. So imagine that I want to design a program that specify what is let's say, what is a duck, and every duck is a kind of bird. Therefore, I need every duck to have characteristics of a bird that need to be implemented in a specific way of a duck. It seems a little bit confusing, but let's take a look on our code right here and hopefully we'll understand this a little bit better. First of all, in order to do this, in order to be able to use the abstract method and classes in Python, one needs to import from the ABC. You need to import the class ABC, the abstract method. And ABC stands for abstract base class in this scenario, right? So imagine that we want to define, I don't know, characteristics of a dolphin, but before we are not sure if we're going to have more animals, so we create a base class. So we have an abstract base animal which extends the ABC, the abstract base class there. And there we have those specific methods. We have three functions, right? But two of those, we have this special mark saying, hey, this is an abstract method. In this case right here, we have that all the animals derived or extending the abstract base animal, they should feed, sleep, and exist. But strictly, if the animal is being implemented, it's being created, it needs to feed and sleep, but not necessarily exist. And how we do this? We select and we use the abstract method for this. Like in the first one here, we were saying that the method feed, which is simply taking a value for other food here and printing out a message like all animals have to feed, and the abstract sleep, which takes a value of a state and says, well, this animal needs to sleep or this animal does not need to sleep. They need to be implemented in a specific way, or at least they need to be implemented somehow in the class that extends the abstract base animal, which is extending and inheriting everything from ABC. All right. So let's say now we created a class called dolphins, and that dolphins is extending the abstract base animal. And now, as you can see here, we are implementing two out of the three classes, two out of the three methods. Which one? The feed method and the sleep method. They can be implemented the same way, but here we are doing a different implementation from what we had in the base class, the abstract base animal. So as you can see here, we have this implementation only from the methods that were marked as abstract. We can double check here. You see feed and sleep, and then down there, feed and sleep as well. We are not implementing the class, the method exist. Why? Because this is not marked as abstract, which means that this method here does not need to be implemented and it can be accessed directly through the object. Now, let's take a look on the main class and the main program here and see how we're accessing things. So we have an object called flipper, which is an instance of dolphins, and then we're going to feed the flipper with shrimp, and then we're going to put flipper to sleep. If we go ahead and run this here, we'll see that the function from dolphins feed, in this case here is shrimp. It's going to be printed out. So I like to eat fish, and also I can also eat other things such as shrimp. And then after that we call the function sleep, which says this animal only sleeps with half of the brain, which is part of the specifically from this class dolphins, not from the class animal, right? And how we know this? Because this method here, this function, this method was implemented. So different from the sleep method from the class animal, here we have a third state. In this case right here, we are printing out this message, the last message that we have there. All right. Now, how can Python enforce this? Well, remember that I said that everyone here with the abstract method annotation has to be implemented, right? So if we take, for instance, this, let's take this method right here and we comment, which means we are not implementing the method feed inside dolphins anymore, right? So as you can see here, we have on the base class we have both all three functions, two of them, the three methods, two of them they are annotated with abstract, and here we are just implemented sleep. Now if we try to run our program here the same way as before, we have an error message saying that we cannot instantiate an abstract class dolphins with abstract methods feed. We don't have the method feed anymore. So even if we comment this line here, it shouldn't work anyways. So as you can see here, even with that, we don't have that this method being available. Before the message was showing that we could not call this, that's fine, but we are more interested in this. We cannot instantiate this object before all the abstract methods are implemented in the class that is extending the ABC class, all right? And since dolphins is extending abstract base animal and abstract base animals extending ABC, we have this error, all right? So this is encapsulation. Thank you and happy coding.